Hello beautiful soul, this is your Julia from quantumhealingjourney.ie, and in this video I will share information about our Pleiadian Galactic family. I'll share info about the Pleiades cluster alignment that occurs in November and May. I'll share 2 stories about the Pleiadian history that can support your own evolution. And to help you identify if you have a strong connection to the Pleiadian collective, I will tell you about the astrological degree you need to look for in your own natal chart. And if you listen to the very end, I'll also tell you about the most common Pleiadian Starseeds characteristics that I'm aware of as a Pleiadian Starseed myself. So let's start with the location. The Pleiades cluster is located in Taurus constellation, and both were an object of worship in many cultures throughout the ages, from the ancient Egyptians to the Babylonians, Chinese, Japanese cultures, to Celtic Druids and many indigenous tribes, including Amazon Indians and Native American Indians. You can find the Pleiades by first locating Orion's belt, and then imagine a long line coming from the belt towards the upper star of the bow. Keep going until you find the cluster of stars, that's the Pleiades. Or just use the Star Walk app to find the cluster. It is beautifully visible all night in the northern hemisphere from October until April, with best visibility in November. Pleiadians are direct descendants of humanoids from Lyra constellation, who seeded pretty much most humanoid life in our solar system. Over the aeons of their species evolving in the Pleiades cluster, they have mastered the art of living with a well-balanced heart chakra, utilizing their feminine and masculine energies equally. They create their reality by following their highest excitement in every present moment. They live in unity and harmony with universal principles. They learned to respect that there is divine timing for everything, and they honor everyone's unique journey without interfering with other people's business. But they learned this in very tough lessons that occurred in the early days of their species' evolution. One of them occurred at a time when their passionate positivity and utopian civilization ideology were peaking. They discovered that the Orion people suffered greatly under the controlling empire. So the Pleiadians came on their spaceships and demanded the empire to free its people and treat all with equal rights. To answer the Pleiadians, the Dark Orion beings went and destroyed one of Pleiadians' most beautiful planets as a message for them to mind their own business. Another major lesson that Pleiadians experienced in their youth, eons ago, was about the consequence of suppressing their shadow side. They thought that being positive all the time is the way to enlightenment. However, the suppressed heavy emotions eventually manifested as a virus, a pandemic that was making their people sick, and many have died. They reached to their high priests for help, and the priests pointed out that the philosophy is out of balance with universal principles. So that's when the Pleiadians started acknowledging their darker side, healing their suppressed heavy emotions, and learned to live in balance with dark and light aspects of themselves. They eventually integrated polarity and reached unity consciousness. So, Pleiadian core wounds, their healing journey, and gain wisdom can act as excellent guidance for our human experience right now. We too are now forced to look at our shadow, to heal suppressed emotions. We are called to work with our emotional body as the only passage to evolution and towards integrating the polarity that is causing so much pain on Earth for so long. We have explored that fully, and the pendulum is now swinging in the direction of unity. Can you feel it too? The best time to connect with the Pleiadian consciousness, if you live in the Northern Hemisphere, is November for nighttime meditations, and May for daytime meditations, with peak alignment occurring on the 21st and 22nd of November and May each year. To identify if you have a Pleiadian soul connection, you can get a detailed galactic astrology reading with me, or you can look yourself for a 29-degree Taurus or 0-degree Gemini anywhere in your astrological natal chart. That would indicate that Pleiades was conjunct at the time of your birth. There are many other variations and meanings that can show up in your chart, but this would be the strongest indication of a strong soul connection to Pleiades and also a well-integrated Pleiadian energy in your current life. During the Pleiadian alignments over the many years, there seemed to always be increased amount of UFO sightings, ET visitations, Starseeds major activations, and many ET projects are aligned with these dates, so do reserve some time to connect with this amazing energy window with the intention to aid your consciousness evolution, or to aid your shadow side healing and integration, or to receive some downloads from your Pleiadian aspects. Now, to share some of the most common Pleiadian starseeds characteristics that I came across in my own life as a multigalactic starseed with rich Pleiadian history and future. Yes, I managed to connect with my future Pleiadian aspect, as crazy as it may sound for some. It was amazing. And also from meeting many Pleiadian starseeds in my life. Here are some of the most common traits, especially if their Pleiadian aspect energy is well integrated and karma cleared. The Pleiadians are well able to see the bigger picture in all situations, and they can see and understand multiple perspectives. The challenge with this is they find it hard to share their point of view openly because they can sense that other perspectives have value too. So they must learn in this life to speak their truth gracefully and without worrying about opposition, trusting that the right people will be attracted to them and they will be able to appreciate their perspective. Pleiadians are fast-paced thinkers, fast speakers. They act fast. They like to get things done fast. They're excellent diplomats and negotiators. They're inspirational speakers, great teachers and guides. They are attracted to professions that enable them to make a positive difference in lives of others. They're definitely service to others oriented. They're very creative. They're excellent project starters and great project managers. They can receive instant downloads of multiple steps leading to higher potential in any situation. They can work really well with teams, mostly as compassionate and fair leaders. They're always focusing on the positive potential, and they try their best to inspire others to see their higher potential. Since childhood, they feel like they have a big mission on Earth. They look for ways how they can help humanity wake up from polarity and suffering, and they really want to contribute to the collective consciousness ascension process towards unity and joy. They get really excited about humanitarian efforts, and people in general really enjoy their presence because they generously share their positive energy. Pleiadians are drawn to the night sky, to astronomy, astrology, anything to do with aliens, paranormal, metaphysics, everything mystical. They're really into all this stuff. They are highly sensitive, highly intuitive and empathic, and they often have healing abilities. They are very loving, sometimes too much. They love to share love. They try to please everyone, and they have to learn the balance of giving and receiving. They tend to be great, loving, caring parents. Pleiadians are often born into families that are suffering intergenerational trauma, abuse, addiction, in order to integrate that family karma and break the cycle. They came here to heal the earth. They release build-up emotions best through crying. and spending time in nature. They're always guided to nature whenever they have built up emotions and when they picked up negativity from their environment. They tend to have lower body temperature and even lower blood pressure. They may have food sensitivities, especially to low vibe foods. Pleiadian starseeds are in huge numbers on Earth. The Pleiadian DNA was used for human species evolution on Earth from the very beginning. Many Pleiadian humans would have Nordic features, so blonde hair, lighter skin, blue or green eyes, but we also have many dark-skinned Pleiadians on Earth. You may notice the higher cheekbones, hooded eyelids, maybe pointed ears, kind of elfish looking features. They're usually tall and slim. Of course, there are also service to self-Pleiadian beings and starseeds on Earth, and you may encounter them during time in your life when you yourself are meant to look at and integrate your own shadow aspects. But there are many highly evolved Pleiadian beings devoted to support our collective evolution. They are able to meet you or to connect with you if you can practice remaining in alpha and theta brainwave, especially theta brainwaves. So as you continue raising your frequency, it'll be easier for you to feel, sense, and communicate with the Pleiadian or any other ET races. Pleiadian and Sirians were super involved and present on Earth during times of Atlantis. During the fall of Atlantis, we have entered 13,000-year orbit of our solar system around the galactic core that was aligned energetically with physical humanoid beings journeying through the experience of separation from oneness, experience of heavy polarity, darkness fighting light and light fighting darkness. But now, since December 2012, we have actually entered the next cycle of 13,000 years when we are collectively coming back home to oneness, integrating polarity, transcending suffering, evolving to live in neutrality, peace, joy, and prosperity for all, harvesting and embracing all the lessons we learned along the way. All that craziness you see happening in the world right now, it's all according to plan. We have to get through the collapse of the old systems, old consciousness. It's all good. Remain focusing on healing, clearing, integrating your own shadows. Keep focusing on changing you so that you can see that change reflected in the world. We got this together. We all make a difference. So I hope you find this information valuable. Please share some of your stories, of your connections with Pleiadian beings. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching, for liking, subscribing, and sharing. Thank you for your support. I send you much love and joy from Ireland.